Alright guys, welcome back to the Haunted Cafe. It's episode
3.
Are we going to try and make ghost noises?
I was just going to say, I'm going to do that at the end every time. Like episode 4, 5, 6.
I mean, hey, it works.
And then when we get to 10, I'm gonna act like the Count from Sesame Street.
Oh.
Episode 1, No, episode 2,
Alright, well, welcome back to episode 3. Mm-hmm. In the previous one, I already told you we were going to talk about the Crescent Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for
so
it.
Am I.
Yeah, but so of course we always start with a tea. Mm-hmm. So today we have 2 different teas, just because
there's only 1 pack of each. So.
Yeah, and if we split it, it kind of makes it really weak.
Yeah, and you can't get a full-on flavor. Like this even says it's for an 8 ounce. And you're supposed to, mine says it's supposed to be 170 to 180 degrees Fahrenheit. Mine was only 130, so it's probably not going to be the full flavor that you're supposed to have, I guess.
But yeah, so we just figured we'll each do a separate tea. We're both going to talk about our teas just real quick.
Yeah.
And if you follow our Instagram, you'll see the actual packages.
Yeah.
So you can buy it if you want to. We're not sponsored by them. Just
this is by the company Stash, which we showed in the first episode
of
this, where it's just a bunch of random teas they put into a box, and then you just try them out.
Yep. So my tea is called Wild Raspberry Hibiscus. It's an herbal tea. The ingredients are hibiscus, lemongrass, rose hips, orange peel, can't talk, licorice root, and natural raspberry flavoring.
Ugh, licorice root. Ugh.
So it's all but my caramel tea that I like, that has licorice root in it, and it tastes perfectly fine. So
all right then, I hear licorice, and all I can think of was black licorice, which is absolutely disgusting.
Oh, absolutely.
I think root beer and Dr. Pepper made with licorice root too. So
probably. But so that's my tea.
All right, so my tea is, once again, it's from Stash. Mine is Jasmine Blossom and Jasmine. It's a green tea. The vet, I think that's what it says on the bottom. It's in like a different language. Mine says ingredients. It's just jasmine green tea. And then for the other language, I'm gonna try doing this just because ingredients. The vet al jasmine. Whatever that means.
Why do you sound French?
Because it's. Because I'm not really sure how to pronounce the E, but the E has that little asterisk over the top that's facing the left, and I think there's one that faces the right, which means something else. But I think it's the Vert al Jasmine. I don't know, but yeah, so that's good.
So
we're gonna try. Yeah, we're gonna try each other's teas since we only have the one flavor.
Yeah, so we're gonna try our own first.
Yeah, and this has been steeping for the appropriate amount of time.
Yeah,
it says like 3 minutes.
It still feels really hot.
Yeah, well, yeah, yours was 150 degrees. Mine was only 130. So. Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's really good. I like that one.
I'm scared to drink mine. Oh, it's not bad. It definitely has that licorice. It tastes pretty good, though.
All right, now we'll swap. So I'll take yours, you take mine. Mine tastes like white tea almost.
Okay.
Ooh, yours has a very strong smell to it. Holy crap.
Yours does, too. Yours smells like flowers.
Wow.
Obviously, it's jasmine.
Yours smells like rotten fruit. It's that orange peel.
Mm-hmm.
Ew. You don't like mine?
Yours either.
We don't like either of ours.
We don't like each other's. So mine's pretty good. Yeah. I mean,
I like mine. I don't give a damn if you like mine or not.
Which this surprises me that you don't like it, because to me it kind of reminds me of the
cherry hibiscus
from what's it called?
Tivana?
Yeah, I could not think of that. It reminds me of that.
Yeah, because I have the 2 flavors, blood orange hibiscus and youthberry. So those together make a really, really good tea. But yeah, anyway, let's get to the thing. Before we do, the incense we have lit is once again, it's from the Chakra and Luck company. I guess that's what it is. I don't know. But this one is the Third Eye, and it's just jasmine, which complements my tea.
Yeah.
And this one is for transforming, awakening, and clarifying. So, yeah.
Let's get clarified.
It's really strong, too.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Just ruin my, what's it called? My Segway, or what? No, Segway is what you ride. What the frick's it called?
Transition?
Transition.
I don't know.
I'm going to ride my Segway into the next thing.
They see me rolling.
Alright, so the Crescent Hotel. It's got a very dark history.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, which is fucked up. I'm excited about your dark history.
I want to know.
All right. So the Crescent Hotel was born.
Aw. It's just a little town. It comes a hotel later when he
Yeah.
has a bunch of babies.
So the Crescent Hotel was built in 1886. I
That
wanted
wasn't too long from now.
1886.
Yeah, the 1800s isn't that long from now. I mean, you have the 1800s and then you have the
1900s. Then you got the 2000s.
Yeah, so...
I mean, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I guess it wasn't that long ago. I wanted to talk about the location. I don't know. I don't know why my voice is doing stupid stuff.
Okay,
but
the more I drink the tea, the more bleh, it gets.
it gets like strong.
I don't really like it that much.
Singing to the choir. So Alan's not going to be drinking that no more.
I mean, I'm still going to sip it just because I'm thirsty. But
And then you're going to be like, each time.
You guys will know because every time I drink it, I'll just go.
So I wanted to talk about like the location of the hotel first because the location has more of like a significance to the history of the hotel. So the hotel was built in Eureka Springs. Yeah, it's a city in the Ozark Mountains of I always want to say Arkansas, but it's Arkansas.
Why is this Kansas and why is this not Arkansas? America, explain. I am confusion.
The whole time I was writing this, I kept saying that to myself, but it's Arkansas. It is known. Eureka Springs is known for its preserved Victorian buildings of its historic district, such as the Palace Bathhouse, the Basin Park Hotel, which is also supposedly haunted, and the Crescent Hotel. Nice. All of these spots were built around the city's natural springs. Wow. The town was founded on July 4th, so, America too. In 1879. So obviously it's after, like, America's July 4th. And it was named by a small group of people around the Healing Springs, as the Indians had called them. So, like, it was first discovered by Indians, and then, like, what happened with them, and then it got rediscovered as Healing Springs.
Okay.
Yeah, and it got called Eureka. I don't know why Eureka, but Eureka, I've got it, or what? Yeah. I don't know. Like, Eureka! Hey, look, we found it. Legends from several tribes spoke of a great healing spring in the mountains. Early visitors believed this spring to be the Basin Spring itself. And the power of the water brought so many people that Eureka Springs went from a barren forest to a flourishing city in a few short months.
Of course.
Yeah. Let's we found this, so let's everybody go to it.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I mean, that would really contribute on to reason why whatever is happening, because technically if it was discovered by the Indians, there's a lot of Indians buried there, so technically it's an Indian burial ground that you're on top of, and we all know what happens when you do that.
Yep. I mean, the accounts I read really didn't get into the the Native Americans, but it's definitely it's
history is written by the
winners,
winners, like I said before.
Yep, it's definitely a hey,
Yeah, like
you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Yeah, you get the idea.
Yeah, but yeah, it went from barren forest with the little springs to big ass city in like a couple months.
Why do we do this?
Yeah,
that always bothers me.
The waters would gain national acclaim with the start of the Ozark Bottling Company, which is still active today. So basically, water bottles.
Do they own the Ozark Trail survival camping stuff?
I don't know. I doubt it. It's probably around that same area, but nice. I don't know if it's the same thing.
Interesting.
People flocked to a town made up of tents and quickly built shanties. So, like, literally it sprung up so quickly overnight that they didn't even build proper, like, houses or anything. It was just tents and, because back then, there wasn't really cures for anything. So you hear these natural springs that are supposed to take care of you and heal you. You're going to go to it, So by 1879, population of Eureka Springs had reached around 10,000 people.
Wow.
Yeah. And in 1881, it was declared a city for the first class, and it was the fourth largest city in Arkansas.
So wait, when did they first get there?
So they first got there, let me look. It was first discovered in 1879,
79.
and then the population by then had. So basically, when they discovered it, or
Yeah.
when they said that they discovered it, people were already coming there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang. Literally within that year. Holy crap. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
because that's why I said a few short months.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it literally
yeah.
went
Wow.
from like, nothing to a bunch of people in a couple months.
Jesus.
And in 1881, it was declared a city for the first class, so like all the important people.
Okay, yeah. Well, let's trample all over the Indian burial grounds and call ourselves important.
Yeah, basically.
Freaking assholes.
The first white settler was a man named Dr. Alva. It's Alvah Jackson, who used the mineral water to cure his son's eye ailment in 1856. So this is like before that they found.
He was probably really dirty and he just needed to wash his face.
Right. The waters were used at Dr. Jackson's Cave Hospital. The hospital was to care for people / soldiers during the Civil War. So I mean, he did use it for good.
Yeah.
It's not like the other doctor we're going to be talking about. This guy did actually try and treat people, and I mean, as far as I know, there's no bad accounts that he was trying to swindle people. He was trying to help people. The Eureka Springs Improvement Company was formed in 1882, and its goal was to bring the railroad to the city. So already we're developing. Let's bring more crap.
Wow.
Let me take a sip.
Okay. That's just crazy, man. It's just like, and I didn't even realize this, but relating to it, it's starting to taste nasty, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. I was making faces about my tea. It's not that. Maybe I just needed to take it out. Maybe
Yeah, it's probably steeping
too
too much. It kind of tastes burnt. Like, it's weird. It's like a weird, like, mine has a burnt taste to it. Like, it was sitting for way too long.
Maybe.
Like, just overheated when it wasn't. It was literally, like, way lower. Maybe that's why. I don't know. But it's amazing how quickly stuff can happen, because I seen a post on Facebook not too long ago that the first biplane that was created was literally 60 years before the first astronauts went into space. And I was like,
oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't know that. And I was
Shit
like,
went really quickly.
Yeah, really fast. Like, I was like, dang, we went from being mid-air to on the moon.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, just how fast it went. It's unbelievable. Right. It's all aliens. That's a different conversation.
But yeah, so he helped people. The Eureka Springs, yeah. You messed me up.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Yeah, so they wanted to bring the railroad to the city. They also wanted to develop the city from a shanty town to an actual luxury town. Actually, put roads and shit in there.
Wow.
Powell Clayton, who is a carpetbagger, which is what people were calling him, which I was like, what does he do? Does he do fix up carpets? Which I don't even know if that was a thing.
No,
like
rugs,
but
back then.
and it's actually a political candidate who seeks election in an area where they have no local connection. So he basically just showed up one day and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna take charge," and did.
Wow.
Yep.
What the hell?
Yeah. He was also a general in the former Arkansas governor. So I don't really know why they called him a carpetbagger, because technically he was like the fucking governor. But I guess maybe for Eureka Springs, he had no
authority
previous,
to begin with.
Yeah, no previous connections. Clayton Powell, or Powell Clayton, I always got that confused. He would use his ties to the railroad and his financial connections to the wealthy people of St. Louis to build his own town. Wow. So that's where Eureka Springs came from. Thousands of residential and commercial buildings were built in just 2 years, which included the construction of roads, water and sewer lines, an electrical trolley, and the now famous Crescent Hotel.
It's amazing that roads and everything were built so fast back then, but now it takes highways literally about 6 years to be done.
Well, I wonder what they mean by building the roads, because
they probably trailed them, dirted them up. And,
yeah,
I mean,
I was gonna say
it's
not like concrete or anything that.
No.
So I mean, not that I know of.
Yeah, they probably just cleared bush and stuff like that to make way for roads for people to just walk or ride along.
And what I think is funny is they already started with water and sewer. So if there were any Indian burial grounds there,
they dug them up.
They dug them up.
They didn't do any historical records on it.
Yeah, who knows if they just tossed them. I mean, I'm not saying that there was an Indian burial ground there.
Yeah, but if there
were,
happened to be,
if there were Indians there to begin with,
and you're just tossing these bones in the trash,
Yeah.
you're obviously messing with something you shouldn't.
Yeah, so I mean maybe that's why, because like I was saying, there's another hotel called like the Basin Hotel or something. That one's supposedly haunted too. So I'm
Well, yeah.
wondering if maybe it's the whole,
It probably is,
you know,
because no matter whatever is built on an Indian burial ground never ends well.
yeah, never.
Ever. Never in recorded history has it ever ended well.
Yeah. So thousands of residential and commercial, yeah, they were built in 2 years. Then the Crescent Hotel was built as well.
Yeah.
The Crescent Hotel is known as the, hold on. Where's my pen?
Oh, sorry. I have your pen somewhere here. I was writing stuff down. Oh, here it is. I found it. Here you go.
Yeah. Because that's what I was using as like a
Yeah.
placeholder, and I keep saying the same shit, and it's like, all right, let me write 16. Okay. The Crescent Hotel is known as the Grand Old Lady of the Ozarks, and it was Powell Clayton and Richard Kern's pride luxury hotel. So Richard Kern was just someone else that like helped him pay for it, basically. They commissioned an architect named Isaiah, however the fuck you say it, S. Taylor, to build it on top of a cliff that overlooked the springs. Powell and Kern spent it's like $2 million or something like, no, it's 294,000.
294,000.
Yeah, I'm having a problem. I'm all messed up.
Which was a shit ton of money back then.
Heck yeah. It was like their whole, just to build the place.
Now you can't even get a house with that money.
Yeah, basically. Irish stonemasons were brought in, and they carved and assembled 18-inch thick blocks of limestone from a White River quarry that was 10 miles from the quarry.
Sorry.
Yeah, quarry. That was 10 miles from the construction site.
Wow.
So like they had special stone brought from a quarry, and it was like really hard stone supposedly.
Jeez.
These stonemasons were brought here especially for this purpose of building this hotel. So like they had money because they got people from Ireland to come over.
Wow.
Like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. After 2 years of construction, the hotel was complete. So even that to me sounds really quick to build a hotel back then, especially using those really heavy stones and stuff.
Yeah.
I keep censoring myself, but
Yeah. But yeah, even now, like a lot of the buildings that are getting built, they're built, I think, a lot quicker now actually, because there's a few like townhome places that were literally built within a year.
Yeah.
So stuff's going to, it's because we're using cheaper materials.
Though.
Well, yeah, it's a hotel at the same time, but
yeah,
townhomes use the same kind of pipeline and stuff like that a hotel would use. There's just extra rooms in a hotel, like a waiting room and stuff like that. There's not that in one of those. But stuff now is getting built within a year because they're using cheaper, lighter materials. But for 2 years for it to be stone, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So May 20th, 1886, the doors were opened and a fancy ball was held in the Crystal Dining Room.
That reminds me of that AC/DC song. Or is it AC/DC or Ozzy Osbourne? One or the other. The big balls.
Balls of fire?
No. It's literally called Big Balls. And he talks about like ballrooms, but like, he's making it really perverted. She's got big balls.
Yeah.
She's got big balls.
I'll get it out.
But I've got the biggest balls in the mall,
Sure. I want you to look up an image of the Crescent Hotel so you can kind of like look at it.
Okay.
Because to me, when I looked at it on Google Earth, and I was like looking at the front of it, and it's just, to me, it was so eerie. It's got like this like awning that's like right at the main lobby, and it's like attached by like chains. And I don't know if this was there back then, but that looks like I could just like drop at any moment. I don't know. It's just the stones are really faded. Not that that's like a bad thing, but it just like it gives me vibes.
This is the one you showed me earlier, or a few days ago, I believe.
You can just look at a regular picture. It doesn't have to be the old-fashioned.
Well, no, because this is the one you showed me. Is this what you're talking about?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So you see that little like thing at the front?
Yeah.
Where it's like pushed out?
Yeah. What the heck?
It looks like it's just held on by chains. And
I think it is.
And that could just be me being like weird. And like knowing, since I know the history and stuff, it's just really creepy to me.
Oh wait, hold on. There's one without that. So that might have been added.
Yeah, it probably
1886
was.
Crescent Hotel. Because there's this one.
Yeah, that's it before. So
Okay, yeah.
It was probably before like the owners that have it now took over.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just looking at it, it really
it's
gives me
eerie,
vibes.
especially when you see the abandoned. Like, there's a lot of like photos of like the abandoned thing, like in the backyard and stuff like that. It just looks creepy.
Yeah,
You know?
and if you want to see some of these pictures, I'm going to be posting them on Instagram a little bit later.
You want me to save them from what I'm looking at?
Yeah, if you want
Okay,
to.
yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, so now that we're looking at it, like I said, they had this big ball. Among the prestigious guests were James G. Blaine, the former U.S. Congressman, U.S. Senator, and Secretary of State. Blaine was also a candidate in the presidential election, only to have lost by Grover Cleveland. So presidents were almost, almost presidents were there. There were state Supreme Court judges, federal magistrates, and constitutional officers, and a crap ton of military men. So all the big and important people were there at the opening of the Crescent Hotel. Yeah. So it stayed open by Powell Clayton until 1905. And then the Frisco Railroad Company purchased the hotel. It sounded to me like they hoped to buy the hotel, and then basically buying the hotel meant that their railroad was going to come close to it, and it would basically make people use their railroad because they were going to the hotel. Like, it was like a marketing kind of thing.
Marketing ploy.
Basically, more people would want to visit the springs and stay at the hotel. More people would use the railway. So they were trying to make it like they were destination people.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. But as the wintertime or the off-season came around, less people wanted to travel there, and they decided to lease the hotel.
Oh, okay. So they weren't making enough money to...
Yeah, it was kind of like a resort. So, they owned the railroad, and then they also owned the hotel. And they would bring people to the hotel, and also, using the railroad. So it was kind of just...
Yeah.
And I think also, like, with the decline of the railroad, that also kind of made them want to lease it out more.
Yeah, because it wasn't becoming as popular.
Yeah, because in, like, 1905, I think cars were starting to be more of a thing, and... I could be wrong, but I know it said that the decline of the railroad is kind of what kind of slowed the hotels being
Progress.
open. Yeah, being open. Yeah. So in 1908, Crescent College and Conservatory for Young Ladies was created. It was a very exclusive boarding school in Arkansas, training the mind of countless women. Is what they quoted.
Training the mind. Wow.
Yeah. Due to the crap storm that was the Great Depression, the college closed completely in 1934. So it went from 1908 to 1934. So that wasn't too bad of a run.
No, that wasn't too bad. It's pretty decent.
Yeah, it sucks though because it was all because of the Great Depression that it closed. Mm-hmm. The hotel did continue to operate, but only in the summer months. So it was kind of like a summer resort.
Yeah.
So it sounds like to me that the springs kind of like, not were fading, but they weren't as prevalent or popular.
Yeah.
As they were like when it first started. So now we're going to talk about a shithead. To put it like very plainly. But
very
first,
politely.
Yeah. To put it politely.
Air quotes.
Yeah. But first we're going to take a quick ad break.
This ad brought to you by nothing. It's nothing. It's a podcast that I host that is nothing and everything all in one. So if you want to check it out, look for It's Nothing on Spotify. I think that's the only spot that I have it.
Yeah.
So
and Anchor, it's
Anchor
podcasting thing.
Yeah, and I talk about a lot of random crap. Like the recent episode that I put up was based on it was Halloween, so it was all Halloween themed stuff. I have a bunch of other ideas planned out, so if you guys want to check it out, just go ahead and check it out and give it a listen, and I'd appreciate it.
I'm on there too.
Yeah, she's on there too.
We basically just talk about all kinds of stuff. This podcast is everything and nothing.
Yeah. exactly
That's
what
why
I said. Yeah,
it's nothing.
yeah. Like it's like one episode will be about haunted stuff, the other's about video games, the other one's about '90s, and then it's just gonna vary all over the place. So if you guys just want to hear random crap, go ahead
It's
and
just
give it a
us
listen.
talking.
Yeah, it's just us all. Just go ahead and give it a listen. So I will talk to you guys then, and thank you for listening to this ad.
All right, thanks for listening to the ad. Now we're going to talk about Norman G. Baker.
Yep.
He's a dickhead.
Yep.
So in 1937, a man named Norman G. Baker buys the hotel. He opens Baker's Cancer Curing Hospital, which, that sounds like a great cause, honestly.
Yeah.
Cancer center. There's the springs there.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Norman was a colorful character, though. He was known for his white suit with a purple shirt, and in a time when cars were mostly black, this guy drove a purple-colored car.
Oh, wow.
Which
He's eccentric.
Yeah, he was way out there.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Before he grabbed the hotel, he actually radio was actually his claim to fame. In 1925, he started KTNT, Know the Naked Truth. It was a radio show, kind of like this one.
It was before podcasts were a thing.
Yeah, the radio. I know you young kids won't know what that is. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. But, yeah, he would continuously attack the American Medical Association for the fact that no one believed in his cure for cancer, and that all doctors, besides him, which he wasn't even really a doctor, he wasn't a doctor at all, were meat cutters. Basically, the only reason why they wanted, their cures were just for you to keep coming back and keep giving them more money.
Yeah. Which I mean, there's a lot of the stuff that they do now, kind of.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, if you think about it real hard.
Yeah. But he started more and more promoting his cure for cancer, and the government tried to shut him down. Why stop him, you may ask? And I already kind of told you. He wasn't a doctor. He barely made it through 10th grade, actually.
Jeez, okay. Wow.
But somehow, along the way of his promotions, he became known as Dr. Baker.
That's weird. How do you become known as Dr. Baker without being a doctor?
He kept telling everybody, oh yeah, I'm a doctor, and on his, I keep saying podcasts, on his radio shows, he'd be like, oh, I'm Dr. Baker. So, like, he would, even though he's not one, he kept
convincing people he was.
trying to convince people he was.
Jesus, this freaking guy.
Mm-hmm. He opened the cancer center in the Crescent Hotel, as we said before. He actually really loved the hotel, and due to the struggles of the Great Depression, he was able to securely make his way in. So,
okay. So he used the Great Depression to his advantage to convince people he was a good guy because he came up with the stuff.
And plus people weren't able to really afford the hotel, so it was probably a lot cheaper than it would have been.
So he literally took advantage of it. For him to drop out of the 10th grade like that, he sure is intelligent with convincing people otherwise.
And a lot of people actually flocked to the hotel. After all, Norman was heavily advertising that he knew everything to cure cancer. Which,
we don't even know that now.
Yeah, we don't know. So, do you want to know the secret recipe for his cure?
Sure.
This is like the recipe that people wrote down. It kind of changes where some add stuff, some people take it away, but it's like about the same stuff.
Okay.
So it says mix watermelon, clover seeds, and corn silk, which I didn't really know what corn silk and like clover seeds were. I mean, I kind of had the idea, but corn silk is basically just, well, I wrote it down. Clover seeds are the seeds for the 4-leaf clovers and stuff that's like in your lawn. It's the actual seeds. Corn silk is literally the stringy parts on the corn.
The heck?
Yeah, like the, what I mean.
Do either of those even have any nutritional value, period?
Somewhat, actually. I'm going to
really?
I'm going to bring that up.
Okay, all right.
And then,
blows my mind.
Obviously, watermelon's watermelon.
Yeah, watermelon's watermelon. Watermelon's good for you no matter what.
Yep.
So.
I even said both of these have benefits to taking them. Corn silk is good for bladder infections, inflammation of the urinary tract, and is also used to treat congestive heart failure, diabetes, high blood sugar, and more.
I didn't know that. So all the times when people are peeling the corn on the cobs, those stringy bits, they're actually good for you. And people are just
throwing them away, or
Yeah, I'm not sure if you're supposed to eat them, but I think it's more so maybe like a tea. Make a tea out of them.
that's weird.
Yeah. And then the clover seeds can improve bone health, possibly reduce the risk of prostate cancer, and
Really?
give you better blood flow. So I mean, I guess with the clover seeds, he had the right direction that he was going for, but
he was pretty much taking.
enough.
Yeah, he was pretty much just. He's like the people who do the non-vax thing where they don't think any like herbal medicine is the way to go. It's kind of like that. Oils and stuff like that. It's kind of like what he's doing.
But I also read where he kind of just took the recipe of some other con man and kind of just went
added
with
his own thing.
So I don't know if he was really honestly thinking about it. Oh, this does this does that. I think he just kind of
just did it.
Yeah. And then watermelon keeps you hydrated. It's packed with nutrients. It may have anti-cancer effects and a shit ton more benefits. But
well, I know watermelon does have a lot of those benefits. Like and some of them are actually somewhat proven to work.
Yeah.
I don't know about the whole.
I don't
maybe because there are a lot of vegetables and fruits that say they lessen the risk of cancer, but it doesn't get rid of it. You know. So
it honestly probably just promotes excuse me, like how stuff promotes heart health or
I was gonna say better blood flow. Yeah. Less clotting, stuff like that.
I even put in my notes, I guess he tried.
Yeah, he definitely tried.
I'm not sure because, this guy's scum.
Yeah.
So, step 2 of the procedure would be to boil all of these ingredients in alcohol and carbonic, which is an antiseptic. It reduces the chance of infection. That's what carbonic is.
Is he making people ingest? Oh, Jesus.
Just wait. Just wait. That's actually step 3. Inject into patient.
Wow.
Sometimes they would inject people up to 7 times a day.
Jesus. It's almost like Trump. It's almost like when everyone was making fun of Trump for saying that they should just inject bleach into their body. Just ingest bleach. It'll go away.
I mean, that's what this guy...
What the hell?
That's what this guy would
repeats
suggest.
itself so freaking much. It's unreal.
And then, and he would inject it in the actual site of where your tumor was.
Wow.
I guess if he could find it, if it was something that's prominent, I guess. But it seemed to work.
Wow.
Sarcastic. Usually patients would make friends with each other. If one was there, if one wasn't there anymore, the nurses would tell the remaining patients that their friend was cured.
Oh, wow.
When in reality, during the night, the staff would remove the dead patients.
Wow.
So they would basically go, oh, where's my friend? Oh, he's cured. He left. He's going home. But in reality, he died.
That's messed up, man.
Yep.
Jesus.
Anything to keep that,
keep that good image, man.
This cancer center is going. And I was even telling you, he actually paid people to, if you look at the pictures of the hotel, there's these balconies that, you can sit on.
Yeah.
And he even paid people to sit on those balconies.
I remember you saying that, yeah.
And, play games, act really happy.
That way on the outside, everything looked like it was going well.
Yeah, so then it looked like his patients were getting cured and were happy-go-lucky when on the inside they were dying.
Wow.
Others who were on the verge of dying were moved to the basement/morgue so no one could hear their screams of pain.
That's so messed up.
Yep. When his patients would die, he would actually cut out the tumor or whatever it was and collected them in jars that he had down in the basement.
Jeez.
Of the hotel. And remember that for later.
Okay.
Which I thought was really funny because he would sit there and call the other doctors, oh, they're meat cutters, they do this, they do that.
And he's literally doing the same thing.
And on all of his advertisements, because there are some, once again, Instagram, there are some advertisements that are still online, and it says, we will not cut out organs and this and that. But yet when they died, he would chop them up. So it's how much, if you are trying to be better than the other doctors, you're not doing a good job.
Then again, he might not have been trying to be better. He just wanted that money flow.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the con man in him.
Yep.
For 2 years, Norman played these schemes, but most of the time the authorities were watching.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
Yeah. In 1939, they closed in. Norman G. Baker was arrested for using the mail system to commit fraud. Wow. He was sending letters out promoting his services.
Oh, wow.
Which they were false, of course.
Yeah.
So, The trial was held in 1940, and Norman was found guilty on all counts. He tried to appeal, but was denied. Because to the day that he died, he did not believe that he did anything wrong. He was trying to cure people. Which, it's full of shit, though.
Yeah.
You weren't even, you weren't
So
even
he didn't
doing
believe
anything.
it. He didn't believe it. He was trying to convince everyone that he convinced himself that he was doing the right thing.
Yep. He served 4 years in Leavenworth Federal Penitentiary.
Wow.
One investigator figured out that he robbed cancer patients out of at least $4 million.
Jeez, this dude was raking it in. Holy crap.
That's why he had the white suit and the purple shirt and his car that was all purple.
He was trying to represent royalty without being royalty.
Yeah, he was a really fancy fucking guy.
Wow.
Which that brings up a point. I didn't realize that.
What?
The purple is known to mean royalty.
Yeah.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, I think it was either purple and blue because they were really, really difficult dyes to find back in like medieval times. So whenever they would do it, it means that they had enough money to be able to afford it. So.
Wow. Okay, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I even said the 4 years in jail seems like nothing to me. I mean, you robbed so many people.
And you killed so many people. Like.
Yeah. Yep.
Like.
Numbers vary, but they know at least 300 patients checked in, but they don't know what happened to them after. Because, of course, you're not going to keep records of people dying. Yeah. You're only going to keep records of them coming in.
Yeah, and they had no way of actually knowing if those people had gotten out at that time either.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's what it says. They don't know what happened to them. Yeah. They checked in, but never checked back out, as far as they know.
None comes in, none comes out.
Yep. Baker believes he was innocent. He actually said that the jury was bribed with whiskey and women.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was a piece of shit.
Wow.
Like, he's going to say that people bribed him, were bribed for...
To make himself look like the good guy. Jeez.
He was released 4 years later, and then he retired to Florida. And karma came back to bite him, and he died of cancer.
Good.
Yeah. I was like, karma, hey?
Yeah, right.
So yeah.
How about you inject that stuff into yourself, and you be the test subject. Let's see if it works or not.
That's what I was saying. We should do that to him.
Yeah.
This whole thing said the whole time I was writing this. Fuck this guy. Because my mom died of cancer, so like I sympathize with the people that were there, and back then there wasn't a cure. There's still not a cure, but I mean, people didn't want to have the radiation. They didn't want to be cut open. Yeah. So this guy comes up and he says, "Oh, we won't do any of that. We're just take this supplement or take this shot and you'll be cured." I understand why 300 people, more than 300 people went there. Yeah. It's just tragic that he fucked them all over.
Yeah. That's messed up.
Yep. So after he went to prison, the hotel ended up being turned over to a group of Chicago businessmen 6 years later. During that time, I have sticky papers. During that time, it hosted weddings, vacations, honeymoons, all while switching hands constantly, which I thought was fucked up.
It is like
it was a freaking
it was hospital. A death camp. It was literally a death camp. That's what it was. It was if you were dying, you would go there and you would die there. It's a death camp.
I mean, I get that they probably cleaned it up really nice and stuff, but there were still like dead people there.
Jesus.
There were still like the bottles and stuff were still there. So like all them little specimen bottles were still there.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just that blew my mind. In 1997, hope for the hotel had finally come. Marty and Elise Roenick, it's Roenig, purchased the business. They wanted to restore the hotel to its former glory, so like before the hospital. Mm-hmm. And they relaunched the location as the 1886 Crescent Hotel and Spa. It was even listed on the National Registry of Historic Places.
Yeah. So
that's pretty cool. With all this dark history, there are bound to be some ghost stories. So I know that's why we came here, the Haunted Cafe. Yep. Y'all don't want to just hear me talk about the history. Although the history is like so interesting.
Yeah, it is extremely interesting to hear.
That's why I like doing these, because I like getting into the history first, so you can understand the the ghosts and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. So even from the beginning of the creation, like the building's creation, in 1880, when the hotel was still mostly mountain, one of the Irish stonemasons plunged to his death in the same spot as the room 218 now lies.
Oh, wow.
So basically, I think it was still kind of like beams,
Mm-hmm.
and he fell and died. Supposedly, this is the most haunted room according to most of the reports. They called him Michael. I don't know if that's what his name was or if that was like a nickname that they gave him.
Yeah.
Guests report hands coming out of the bathroom mirror, cries of a falling man coming from the ceiling, which is fucked up, you know.
Yeah.
And the door opening, then slamming shut, and then unable to be open again. Which,
Wow.
can you imagine being inside and it like slams shut?
And you can't even open it?
Oh.
It's like, oh, damn. All right, well, if this is going to be it, you
I'm
know.
jumping out the window.
Yeah.
But it's 218, so 2 probably means like
It's
second
like the
story.
second story, yep.
Yeah, so...
And there's technically 3 stories because you have the first floor, then the first story, then the second story.
Yeah,
so
like
it'd
the
be
basement,
the basement, yeah. So that's a bit of a fall.
Oh, jeez. In the hotel's dining room, many employees have encounters of playful spirits dressed in Victorian dress.
Wow.
Which, that's something I can see, because however many dances or balls or weddings that people had there, that's honestly going to start, like, carrying over. You know what I mean?
It's almost like Haunted
Residual?
Golf at Wildwood, where they have those ghostly figures dancing on the ceiling and stuff.
Yeah. One holiday season, while the dining room was closed, the tree and packages that were underneath, and the packages that were like underneath the tree, were shifted to the other side of the room with chairs surrounding it. So like these guys are like playful. Maybe they wanted the trees over there.
Yeah.
We
It
don't
looks
like
better over here.
Yeah. One waitress looked in the mirror and saw a man and a woman dressed in Victorian garb facing each other as if they were in a wedding.
Oh, wow.
The groom looked at the waitress, and then they both disappeared.
Well, did these people die there? Or
I don't know if it's just, like, residual energy.
maybe,
Because, I mean, there's no accounts of them dying
that's
there.
weird that those are showing up if nobody's actually died for that to happen, like, in that area.
Yeah, because, I mean, obviously there's the people at the hotel.
Yeah.
Or, the cancer center. There might have been, like, people that died in between, just, like,
Maybe.
in their sleep or something like that. But there's no reports that I found, anyway.
Interesting.
So there could be. I just didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. That waitress actually quit, like, right after that.
Come on, cat. Jeez.
And I wanted to look up and see. That was our cat. I wanted to look up and see if the mirror was actually there from the hotel, like, since the beginning, or if it was, like, newly brought in. Because if it was there from the beginning, then mirrors are known to have, like...
To hold images forever.
Yeah, so...
That's why the natives were so afraid of, like, cameras and mirrors and anything.
Cameras?
Yeah, back when cameras were first invented, if you were to go to, like, a tribal area to where they had never seen that kind of technology, if you snapped a photo and they seen it, they swore up and down that you took their soul and it stayed into that photo.
Okay.
It's I think that's pretty much, well, that's not where the whole mirror thing originated, but that didn't help.
Yeah, and that's just, like, to me, that's why it made me think, like, was it there the whole time? Or was it something that the new owners brought in? Like, I couldn't find it, but...
I'm pretty sure if it was there the whole time, it probably would have showed some age a little bit, because mirrors, even indoors, they still age.
Yeah, and I tried to look at pictures, because this happened in the crystal dining room, so I tried to look at pictures of the dining room, and there's a lot of, like, stuff on the walls, and, there's a lot of stuff on the wall, so I'm not sure which mirror it was, because I thought maybe it was, like, a big, like, you know. But anyway, so whether it was there or not, I don't know. Another spirit in the dining room is a man in Victorian clothing sitting at a table near the window saying, I saw the most beautiful woman here last night, and I'm waiting for her to return.
Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of cute. Like, I don't know if she's a ghost there, and they're trying to hook up. There has also been dancing men and women appearing in the dining room in the early hours of the morning. So that's why I'm thinking it's more like residual. Like, they've seen that the hotel has seen that so much that they're just like,
Yeah.
Dr. Baker has also been seen around the hotel.
Oh, wow.
Mostly in the lobby. He has been spotted wearing his signature purple shirt with the white suit. There's also a nurse pushing a gurney down in the basement, aka Dr. Baker's old morgue.
Yeah.
So like, that's why the whole theory of you have to be dead to be in that to be at a certain place doesn't really hold true. Because if it is true that you're seeing Dr. Baker, he didn't die there.
Yeah. Yeah.
He died in Florida, which is really far away from Arkansas.
Yeah.
Or Kansas. But yeah, the washers and dryers are known to mysteriously turn on by themselves. They're right next to his old morgue, which still has his autopsy table and a walk-in freezer.
Wow. Okay.
I hope that they don't use that walk-in freezer for food. I mean,
because that'd be messed up.
I mean, the shit's clean. Now I'm sure they disinfected it and stuff, but still, like, I don't know about it. And it's also wild to me that they kept his autopsy table.
Yeah.
But they do ghost tours there, like, so that's probably a spot that they go down to.
Yeah, probably.
Housekeepers have met Theodora, who introduces herself as one of Dr. Baker's patients. Can't
Jesus.
talk. Her name's Theodora, and she introduces herself as one of Dr. Baker's patients. Then she vanishes.
Oh, wow.
So she's like, "Hi, I'm so-and-so," and then...
Wow.
She resides in room 419. There is also reports of a little boy that has been skipping around, and sometimes pots and pans come flying off the hooks in the kitchen.
Oh, wow.
And he's been spotted in the kitchen a lot. I don't know if maybe it was like one of the patient's sons.
Yeah. Or it could be,
or a patient itself.
Did he like murder kids and that just wasn't even brought up because of how bad that actually is?
I mean, he's the only kid ghost, but I mean that doesn't mean it. You know,
that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, who knows? One other report is a young female who once attended the Crescent College. According to the legend, she found out she was pregnant, and she was either pushed or she fell from the balcony to her death.
She was pushed.
Today, guests report seeing her figure in a white, like, mist surrounding her, falling from the balcony, along with hearing her screams.
Well, I mean, I mean, that depends. I mean, you could be scared if you fall off, or depending on how much you're wanting somebody to hear it,
you're
going to scream louder.
If you fall off.
I mean, I'm
going to be terrified.
No, I mean, like, you could be like scared screaming as you fall down, but depending on like who you want to know to come to that spot because you scream, you're going to scream as loud as you can.
You mean like if it was her falling, she wouldn't scream?
Yeah, she wouldn't be screaming. She might be screaming, but she might not be screaming as loud. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah. Yeah, sadly, that's not the end of the tragedies
of course.
That will occur at the beautiful Crescent Hotel, because it is a pretty place.
Yeah.
On June 11th, 2017, at night, a man, which I'm not going to name names, fell to his death from the 4th floor staircase.
Oh, wow.
He was walking out of the bar and fell over the railing at the top of the staircase.
Wow. So
he was drunk, fell from the top, and fell all the way down.
Jeez.
Which I looked at, I saw the staircase, and it's literally like a circular thing. Like, not circular staircase, but it's got like a center, and he fell like right through.
Oh, wow. That sucks.
His poor wife was with him when this happened. And I feel really bad for her. Rest in peace to that guy, because it's really a sad situation.
It is.
In 2019, Susan Benson, the hotel's landscaping artist, uncovered 400 bottles when she was moving dirt with a backhoe.
Bottles of what?
Dr. Baker.
Bottles of Dr. Baker?
Like his bottles that he was keeping all the stuff in.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Yeah. That's messed up.
The police and the Arkansas Department of Environmental Quality, basically, came out and determined that it wasn't a crime scene, which, thank God.
It is.
It wasn't, but like not like a crime scene that they didn't know about.
Yeah.
But it was the bottles from Norman G. Baker. It's the ones that he kept in his specimens in the basement in the morgue.
He was just a collector.
Yeah.
Jeez.
There were at least 20 bottles had tissue still inside. They were basically preserved in alcohol. And the archaeologists or whatever, they took some of the bottles to go test and see if they were like animal or if they were human, because Dr. Baker is a con man. He's not a doctor. Baker was a con man, so he could have just went and got like specimens of animals and put them in there and acted like, yeah. So who knows? They're the same bottles that Baker used in his advertisements, and quote, "We have hundreds of specimens like these." His ad said, "Actual cancer specimens and lab data proves it all. All specimens are preserved in alcohol." Wow. So, like, he even was using these bottles as advertisements, saying, "Oh, look, here's all the cancers, that we've taken out of these patients." Which, if you're saying that you don't cut people up, how did you get?
Yeah, how did you get those?
Yeah. Keith Scales, who leads the ghost tours at the Crescent Hotel, like present time, said that officials were told by all the previous owners that they had took all of Baker's bottles to the dump in the 1960s. Oh, wow. Like I said, they still had his bottles there. So Baker was arrested in 1940. Mm-hmm. So that means for 20 years, those bottles sat in the basement. So while people were having weddings, their honeymoons, Jesus, all that shit, and there were people's body parts in the fucking basement. Wow, it blew my mind. Scales thought that when they said that they got rid of them, like took them to the dump, that they went to the local landfill, but guess not.
It filled in a part of land, just not the landfill.
Yeah, they took them out back and buried them. Yeah. And that's the dark tale of the Crescent Hotel. As time continues, so does its history. Wow. Because to me, if that was 2019. Yeah. She keeps moving stuff around, like keeps moving dirt and stuff. Who knows
what they're gonna find?
Like
that entire property just covered with stuff.
Yeah, my thing is, I didn't research it. I should have. But what happened to the bodies of his patients that didn't make it?
He probably cremated them, so he could get rid of the evidence.
Or they're buried.
Or they could be buried. Yeah.
I don't think so, because if you look at the hotel like landscape now, like the pictures of it, there's not really a whole lot of space there. Like, it's not like a big place.
They filled in a lot. They put in a fountain, they put an in-ground swimming pool, stuff like that.
So I feel like if there were bodies there or something like that, I feel like they would have found something. Wow. Unless they just haven't dug at the right spot. Yeah. But, and honestly, I mean, Baker didn't put those bottles there. It was previous owners. Or like the owners after him. So it's like, and then I had one final question. Would you go stay the night at the Crescent Hotel? I would.
Honestly, just to see what would happen, yeah, I probably would.
I would go there, no problem. Like, let's go stay. We'll go walk around. Yeah. Go say hi to Michael and Theodora.
I'm not going to say hi to... Oh, no, that's Michael. Wait, who's Michael again?
Michael is the Irish stonemason.
Oh, yeah, the mice. Okay, yeah. Never mind. The Meissen.
I'd go say hi to him. Go say hi to Theodora. Yeah. If I saw Mr. Baker, I'd be flipping him off. I'm like, fuck you. But, yeah.
You better be careful. You might be the next one that falls off the balcony.
Maybe. Oh. So that's why I'm not going down myself.
Yeah, that's actually, that's why I'm not doing that.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I've never really been to somewhere that's haunted. I've had my own personal, like, haunted experiences, which we might do an episode on eventually.
Yeah, I had my own, too.
Yeah, but I've never, like, went to a haunted, like, hotel or place specifically for that. Yeah. So...
You could also do that. That place that is near where you used to live too. Where
the Hancock House.
Yeah, the Hancock House. You could do that as another one. That's
definitely one too.
Yeah, because supposedly that's really friggin' haunted because of everything that went down.
My Uncle Barry actually has a spooky story with it. He's not with us anymore, but he told my aunt a spooky story. So maybe that'll be an episode soon. Yeah. But anyway, guys, so that's the Crescent Hotel. That was
fucked up, man.
Yeah, it was a roller coaster.
Jeez.
But, let me know in the comments on Instagram or wherever. Would you stay the night at the Crescent Hotel? Would you go say hi to Mr. Baker and all the little ghosties?
Ooh.
Have you stayed at the Crescent? Because, you know.
If you have, let us know what your experience was, because
Yep.
that'd be really interesting to hear about. And then we might even do a video on it. Or
Yeah.
not a video, podcast. Sorry, I'm used to YouTube.
Yep. I was just agreeing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the next episode is about Bigfoot.
Which I know everyone loves.
Yep. He's a little well-known guy.
Yeah.
But,
and supposedly, according to new evidence, I'm going to ruin a little bit.
The story.
All right. Well,
No,
I'm
go
not
ahead.
going to ruin it, but supposedly there has been actual proof that he actually does exist. Or at least he is the missing link. We'll find that out when we talk about it.
Yep. So we'll see you guys in the next episode.
All right. Catch you later.